So let's go ahead and get into our next set of topics right now for this season. Tunch&Wolf right now, who would have been 64 years old in a couple of weeks. He passed away from his battle with ALS that he's been dealing with, that he announced last year during the football season. I want to say it was end of September, beginning of October. We all learned this. I first heard about it from ESPN.com. And to be honest with you, Tunch&Wolf right now, one of the most genuine, sweethearted contributors to this organization. I mean, a guy right here, I mean, when you think of not only what it's like to be a true Steeler or to just really just give back to the community and represent in a family organization. Tunch&Wolf, I mean, at the end of the day, he was definitely a guy right here where he truly lived a Christian lifestyle on and off the field, and a true pro's pro. Tunch&Wolf, I gotta tell you right now, he's one of the reasons why I definitely got into broadcasting, why I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And it's just a damn shame that he is gone so soon once again. And for the most part right here, when we look at it, and it just goes to show you right now. I mean, one of the things I think about is like what Jimmy Johnson said in his Pro Football Hall of Fame speech, QTL, quality time left. I mean, it's definitely very important to try and cherish the people that we have in our lives, because it's going to come down to a point right now where you never know. You never know when those moments will be taken away from us and will we have to say goodbye to someone. It's just real sad. I mean, for a guy who announced his retirement from broadcasting end of June this past summer, just passed away shortly. I mean, if there's anything I have like a favorite memory of Tunch&Wolf, it would have to be in that playoff game versus the Indianapolis Colts back in 2005, the divisional round. Now, remember, in that game, they were up by many as 18 points. They were clinging to a field goal lead. Steelers just stopped the Indianapolis Colts. Joey Porter had a fourth down sack on Peyton Manning, which set up the Steelers nicely in the Colts red zone, basically, and had nice position to grind out the clock or get another score in. So what happens? Ben Roethlisberger hands off the ball to Jerome Bettis. And if you remember Jerome Bettis, I was saying from America's game, one of the things he was trying to do was try to get skinny. Well, when he started to get skinny, it was easier for the ball to be popped out. The ball was fumbled, picked up by the Colts. And thank God for Ben Roethlisberger being red alert right there to make the shoestring saving tackle right there that will prevent the Colts from making a fumble recovery return for a touchdown. Colts did end up on that drive and nearly tied the game at the end of that game thanks to Vanderjack. It was actually a pretty darn accurate kicker that Peyton Manning called the liquored up kicker not too long ago, a few years earlier. The Colts, at the end of the day, they ended up losing that one. Steelers managed to go on and move on to Denver to take Jerome Bettis home. And just like I said, I think Tunch&Wolf right there, I'll remember him a lot more in that moment. Just the, oh my gosh, and just like, somebody's got to tackle him. I mean, that right there, I think was probably my favorite Tunch&Wolf call of all time. And just for yellow on the fact, I mean, hearing in the locker room with Tunch&Wolf, it is definitely going to be not recognizable without those two guys around. Tunch&Wolf right there is a guy who's really given his life to being a devoted Christian, husband, father, a guy who you could just definitely tell really enjoyed life and doing things in the right Christian way. A guy who was taken too soon. I think a lot of people will agree. And for this, I mean, it was just a very heartbreaking way to conclude Labor Day weekend, or to go into Labor Day, I should say. And to be honest with you, I mean, a guy who was a former two-time Pro Bowler as a tackle for his career, all with the Steelers. I think he made it onto the Packers, but I think he got released and he decided to retire. But still, I mean, this is the guy right here. I mean, for the past 23 seasons, who made his way up in the broadcasting ranks through the organization. Remember, he partnered up with Myron Cope, by the way, back in 1998, basically. And here's quotes coming from Steelers president Art Rooney II. "We're heartbroken by the passing of Tunch&Wolf. He was a man of faith who dedicated his entire life to being a devout Christian and family man. His passion for the game of football was evident in his everyday life. As a player, he fought his way through tough times of being cut and injured, but continued to make an impact as a leader of our offensive line and made 2 Pro Bowls. After his playing career, Tunch continued to make an impact in our community in so many ways. His efforts and dedication to the light of life was unparalleled, and his desire to always help others made everyone appreciate him. He was loved by his family, teammates, and friends. We were fortunate to have Tunch as a player and broadcaster for so many years. Our condolences to his entire family during this difficult time." Like I said, he's been an analyst and color commentator with the Steelers since 1998. He also did national work too with NBC Sports for a brief time, beginning back in 1995. So this year, the show In the Locker Room will continue to move on, but this time it will be with Craig Wolfley, and former Steelers offensive lineman, also a tackle, Max Starks. He'll be joining Craig Wolfley. Max Starks, he won 2 Super Bowls with the Steelers during his time here. And it's just very, very, very sad. I mean, to say the least. To not hear his voice anymore. All we got now is the memories moving forward with Tunch. And I really, it's just a scary time right now. How sickness could still exist. Wasn't necessarily from COVID, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we lose another man too soon. And he would have been turning 64 this season. As if he would have had it. And I want to say his birthday, let me see. I want to say it would have been September 16th or the 15th, I think was his birthday for Tunch. Let's see, as he would have turned 64 years old. No, excuse me, September 23rd, excuse me. Yeah, September 23rd, basically born out of Turkey. Man, it just sad to see him pass away, man. Just a true wonderful guy. It was just a pleasure calling on our show in the locker room. Just being as one, many other fans just marveled at their work, the chemistry. And of all the guys that are hurting the most, I gotta believe Craig Wolfley is the one who's feeling his loss the hardest out of anybody, aside from his family. That was his brother, his blood brother in life. I mean, just not only as teammates, but teammates just off the field as well, and what they did in their communities and continuing to be on in their football career to no longer have that live interaction with each other anymore. It's just rough. And I'm just very sad. And it's going to feel naked not having them anymore. So again, feel free to leave. I would like to hear your favorite memories of not only Tunch&Wolf, but Tunch&Wolf and Craig Wolfley. What will you guys remember them for at the end of the day? Whether it's as Pittsburgh Steelers or what you hear on the show in the locker room, what they've done in the communities. Feel free to drop a comment on my Facebook page if you want. If you guys want to find my Facebook page, again, it is Men of Steel Podcast. Feel free to hit the like button. If you want to search me another way too, you could also do at Men of Steel Nation. And
but this team knows all about beating the odds.
We've been doing